Good evening and welcome to this live broadcast. I'm MJ Lifestylist coming to you from my home and studio in Bournemouth in the UK. And we begin tonight by just saying welcome, welcome, welcome. We are slightly early in the beginning, but we would like to get going. We were on late last week. Last week we arrived late and we just want to make up for that by doing some extra time tonight. So we're 5 minutes early. Let's get going. If you like and share the broadcast, as soon as you've liked and shared it, you can go ahead and say yes, please. And once you've said yes, please, you will be considered for a card. So like and share the broadcast and then say yes, please. And we shall do our best to read for you this evening. But you have to like and share, and I need a yes, please. Otherwise the deal is off. So, let's just get this up and get that down. I'm trying to get onto every broadcast that I'm doing, because a lot of people are saying that their comments aren't coming through. So I just want to make sure that comments are coming through to me. So I'm just putting all my devices on and making sure that that happens. Okay, so I am still a little bit early, so give me 1 moment to just do this and then I shall be with all of you. What have we been up to this weekend? Have we had a good weekend? How are things going? What's occurring? What's happening? Very, very, very interesting to have you all here this evening. Liz Murphy, you'll be up first with your yes please, and then we've got Chandra, who's calling in from America. Chandra, you shall be next on the list. I'm just trying to pull up my page to ensure that I can see everyone's messages. I am attempting to get this right. As I said, we have had a problem with all the messages coming through to us, and so we are just going to ensure that we are getting all the messages coming through. So like and share this broadcast, then say yes please, and we shall get to you as soon as we can. That should be the right one. Right. Let's see where we go. Cool. As always, I'm going to say to you guys, I have a green screen behind me. So any cards with green on them end up doing all sorts of things like that. And like that. So I will do my best to try and describe the cards to you. So, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Congratulations. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you for saying that. Congratulations. Right, Liz Murphy, you are number 1 in the queue. So good evening and welcome. We've got a yes, please from Liz Murphy, and then we're going to move on to Chandra, and then we're going to move on to Rebecca. So, Liz, let's see where we go with you. Da, 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 da. Bum, bum, bum. Right, Liz. Sacred Pool, card 47. 4 and 7 is an 11, Liz. 11 is our first angel number, and 11 reminds us that angels are guarding and guiding us from above. Sacred Pool is a lady lying back in a pool. She's lying on her back. She's obviously breathing. She's floating, and she's trusting. So Sacred Pool is about, sitting back and relaxing and trusting that Spirit will provide for you, that you will be provided for, and ensuring that that happens in divine timing. Sacred Pool has also got lots of green around it, so look at heart-based decisions for you for this coming week, Liz. Look at heart-based decisions rather than head-based. So let your heart really lead you, let your heart guide you, and see how that goes for you in the coming week, Liz. I hope that helps you. Next up, we have the lovely and gorgeous Chandra Parry. Hey, there we go. There's your yes, please. Chandra is calling in from America. So thank you for saying hi. So good to have you with us this evening. I'm just making sure my green screen doesn't move. So Chandra, for you, I've got commitment. It's card 36. This one might show up because it's got no green in it. Let's try and get the ring light out of here. Chandra, this is for you. Commitment. It's got two hands, one into the other. There's a star. There's stars all over the place. There's hearts, and there's a key with wings as well. Lots of little orbs too. Okay. So there's a bit of a commitment thing going on here. There's a commitment to self. I think there's a commitment for you to your art and to what truly makes you happy, and to allow yourself the space to really explore that commitment in the best possible way for yourself. Just allow yourself the space and the time to really fully develop and appreciate the skills that you are doing at the moment, especially with all your beautiful what's it called? All your beautiful stained glass work. So that should be absolutely amazing. So like and share this broadcast. If you'd like to have a card, like and share the broadcast, and then shout out yes please on screen, and we shall get round to as many of you as we can. See, lots more people are joining us now. Hi, good evening everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Chandra, commitment. Yeah, committing to yourself. Oh, I didn't read the number, did I? Sorry, I think it was 36. Yes, it is. Committing to yourself, committing to your dreams, allowing your creativity to come through, allowing that to just develop and really emulsify in the best possible way. 36 comes to a 9, Chandra. So we're talking about endings, completions, finishing off of an old you or a segment of your life, and allowing space for something new and fresh and exciting to come through. So that all sounds incredibly, incredibly festive, incredibly exciting for you. So amazing, amazing, amazing. Interesting for you. Moving on, we have now got Chandra design. Let's see. We've now got Rebecca Cousins-Gray. Rebecca, hello, gorgeous. Hello, Marilyn. How are you, sweetheart? We keep bumping into each other. Liz Waldron, you are next on the list after Bex. So Bex, let's do you quickly first. Rebecca is, of course, my friend Thoroughly Modern Marilyn, and she is doing the most wonderful work at the moment, trying to help and support people out there right now. Really, really, really amazing work. So Bex, for you, I've got Field of Dreams, card 21. Gorgeous card. There's a field, there's lots of what look like massive Easter eggs and fairies sat on them, and then there's masses of green butterflies above them. Okay, green, of course, is our heart chakra, nature, nurture, healing. Butterflies are all about transformation, change, metamorphosis, and how that all comes about. And these fairies are sitting on these eggs. Now, I would say that the eggs were your dreams. They sometimes can be bigger than yourself. So these massive eggs and these little fairies sat on them. So don't be afraid to dream big, first of all, Rebecca. Second of all, allow yourself to really be immersed in that which you dream about. So think about it, write about it, show it on screen, do whatever you need to do to get it really into your mind's eye. And 21 comes to a 3, and 3 is all about change. Okay, 3 is all about change. So really look forward to the changes that are coming to you in a positive way. So that is a good thing for you. Field of Dreams. Get them all written down, get them all into one place, and then allow yourself to experience them. Liz Waldron, good evening, my darling. How are you, sweetheart? Liz, I am really glad to see you here this evening. Let us pull you a card for Liz. Oh, Liz, I'm going to try and show this to the screen because it isn't green, but there's lots of blue in it. Oh, okay. So like that, I can get that much in. See, if I start to do that, you'll see the picture behind me. So it's a guy, and he's got a blindfold on, and he is juggling items. Now, the items are different sizes, shapes, and weights. And this tells me that you are phenomenal at multitasking. 52 comes to a 7. 5 and 2 is 7. 7 is all about metamorphosis, transformation, and change. Guess what, Liz? We were speaking about this the other day, weren't we? About your need to transform, or your need to really reinvest in you. is what I've just been told. Reinvest in you. Magical Map Shifter, of course, tells you that you can multitask. You're stronger than you think you are. You're more capable than you think you are. Don't hide behind your mask. Allow yourself to shine through. And my challenge to you is to really pick up that gauntlet and travel with it. Move forward in a pure and positive way for yourself. And I look forward to being there along the journey alongside you for as much as possible. Hello, love. This is from America. Hello, love. In the studio this afternoon. Amazing. Liz Murphy says thank you for hers. Chandra's designing a new piece. We've got Autumn Vivain. Hi, Autumn. How are you, darling? I think I've read for you one time before. My good friend Catherine Costello is here. Catherine, don't go anywhere. I'm going to come to you. Catherine actually got me incredibly interested in Oracle cards, and it's thanks to Catherine that I've kind of developed and moved on in my world. But so lovely to see you. So lovely to see you. I see a lot of other people are joining us as well, so I will get down to all of you guys. Autumn, we're on to you next. We are going to be doing your card next. Like and share this broadcast. Say yes, please, and we will go ahead and pull a card for you. Autumn, your card just fell right out. Oh, just jumped right out of the deck. Card number 20 says Flying. Now, there's lots of green on this card, Autumn, so we'll try. It's like a carousel horse. Down at the bottom where you can't see what's going on, it's actually like a maze, like a green hedges maze. But this is a carousel horse, and it is not attached to the pole, and it's not going around and round and up and down as carousel horses do. This card's called Flying. There are spring cherry blossoms here. Now, I'm reading it from my perspective, Autumn, and I'm in the UK. So spring for me is March, April, May. Is kind of what I'm looking at. So March, April, May time, this tells me that you are going to be flying. You're going to break free from the shackles. You're not going to be held down by what other people expect you to do, and you're going to be able to move forward in a very positive way for yourself. So please, Autumn, do that. You know, you're going to transcend. You won't have to go through the maze like everybody else. You can actually move past that and move through that in a very positive and enlightening way for you. So I look forward to that. It's card 20, which comes to a 2. 2 is all about twin flames. It's about finding your true purpose, finding your sort of soul sister kind of thing, soul vibe. But it's also about facing your shadow self. So sometimes the bits of us that we're not really happy to look at. So the negatives and the positives of looking at yourself, with yourself, and taking a good hard look, but more positive than negative, because it's flying and it's going to really take you far. Hello, my dear. Hello, darling. Yes, please. How are you doing? Thank you, Natalie. I'm doing very, very well. How are you doing? How's Ireland? You're in Ireland, aren't you? Aren't you? Let's see, Natalie. Also, Natalie, have you been resting your ankle? They're telling you you're not doing it. Rest that ankle. Please take the advice. You might feel a little bit better, but do take the time out to rest. Oh, I've got making a choice for you, Natalie. Making a choice. There is a pathway, and it splits into 2 and 2 doorways. Card number 30, lots of doves around, lots of butterflies around, some birds as well, which are usually for me like Jiminy Cricket, like your conscience. But making a choice, I always say this, you guys have heard me say this before, making a choice used to be choosing between a more spiritual path and a more physical path, like earthbound path. But these days, since Corona, I kind of say to people, I think it's more a choice between work and life balance. How do you balance your life out? Where do you derive your pleasure? How do you move forward? How do you enjoy your life? And just balancing the aspects of your life. Now, I know your life doesn't involve like work and life pleasures, because I know a little bit about you, Nats, but I think it's like balancing you being a mom with you being an individual, etc., etc., etc. Okay? That's what I think. Right. Thinking about working on Christmas, do you think I'm making the right decision? What do you think, Liz? It doesn't matter what other people think. What do you think? Do you think it's the right decision to go to work again after Christmas? It's all about how you feel, because you're the only person in your body. People can give you advice, people can try and help you out, but it's all about how you respond to that. I'm in between jobs as well, love. Good. So while you're in between jobs, do more of your art. Do more of what makes you happy. Here we go. Jenny Caroline, we're with you. Jenny Caroline says, hi, yes, please. Hello, my darling. How are you? Kids have gone down early tonight. Brilliant. We like that. Right, we are on until 8:30 UK time. It's now 20 to 8. So another 50 minutes I shall be on. I'd like you to like and share this broadcast. And if you feel like you want a card pulled for you, then please go ahead and say yes, please. If you say yes, please, we are inclined to then help out by pulling you a card. That's the way it works. Right, we are on to Jenny Caroline, and then and then Lisa Swindles. You are on next. Johnny sister. Hello, darling. Oh, I've just read your brother's message, Lisa. Your dad passed 2 years ago today. Right, so Debbie and Johnny, would you both listen at the same time when I read each other's cards? Because you're both here, there might be a similarity in the cards or a link between the two of you. Okay, I am reading down the list. I see lots of fabulous people are arriving. Hello, hello, hello. I am getting to all of you. I am just one person. So right now we are with Jenny Caroline. Jenny Caroline, spark for you. Lady playing a violin, lots of green. So I'm not going to show the card to the screen because it does that. It's card 34. She's playing a violin, and there is like blood droplets coming off the bow of the violin, but they're turning into little hearts as they fall down. So it's a droplet, and then it turns to a heart, heart, heart. Spark for me is all about passion. Finding your passion, Jenny Caroline, and then following it through. Find your passion and move in that direction. It'll do you the world of good. It'll really help you and sort you out in a very, very good and positive way. Okay? So, Jenny Caroline, spark is all about finding your passion, going with it. Card 34 comes to a 7. 7 is all about transformation. Okay, all about transformation. So what is changing for you at the moment, and how is it changing? It feels organic. It feels like it's the natural thing to do. It feels like it's metamorphosizing in a good and positive way. That is for you, Jenny Caroline. Lisa, right, Lisa and Johnny, I'm going to do your two cards one after the other. And then Catherine, I'll come to you next after I've done Claire and Lisa's. Claire is my friend Johnny. Because your dad passed 2 years ago today, let me just get into the mood for that, into the energy for that. I'm going to pull a card for Lisa first, and then I'm going to put a card for Johnny, and then we'll read both of them. So Lisa's card, I've got Stuck in the Mud, which is our elephant, and it's stuck in the mud, and it's card 24. And for Johnny, I've got Dry Desert. Okay. I actually think these two are the other way around. I actually think, from what I know, Dry Desert might be for Lisa and Stuck in the Mud might be for Johnny. But both of you listen to both of these cards. You are brother and sister, and Dad passed 2 years ago today, and I'm sure people wouldn't mind me spending a moment just going through this with you. So, when we're looking at Dry Desert, card 31 comes to a 4. 4 is about stability, strength, structure, foundation, and how you build on that foundation. Dry Desert tells us that no matter what it seems to be going on the surface, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, under the scenes. It's like people kind of start to make assumptions about us because they think we're not really active and we're not really doing stuff. And then it's allowing that idea to come to fruition in a very interesting way. So just to be aware that Dry Desert is an indication not of what's going on with you now, but an indication of what is going on below the surface that other people aren't aware of. So people always like to make judgments, people like to criticize us, but they're not always aware of exactly what is happening in our lives. Okay? And that is incredibly important for Dry Desert. There's also lots of yellow, lots of purple. The yellow is an indicator of what we've learned along our journey and how we apply that. The purple, so that's our solar plexus chakra. The purple is our crown chakra, and our crown chakra is always about connection to the divine. So that's one of the two cards, which I originally pulled for Johnny. And this one was Lisa's card, which is card 24, comes to a 6, and it's called Stuck in the Mud, and that's about family. 6 comes, numerology is about family. And then with Stuck in the Mud, there's this elephant, it feels stuck, there's a bird on its back. So the bird is helping it look at all the things that have made it get to where it is now. So it's a bit of like a conscience. Stuck in the mud is an idea as well. It's a concept. I say to people, do you feel like the mud is drowning you, like you're being consumed by the mud, or do you feel like the mud is actually like a mud pack in a hotel or spa where you can actually can benefit from the mud, like it's some sort of health treatment. That's kind of what we're going with there. 6 is about family as well. Stuck in the mud is a state of mind. Do you feel like you're going to be drowning in the mud, or do you feel like it's going to rejuvenate you? Okay, so in combination, you've got dry desert, where people make assumptions about us, but they actually don't have all the facts. And then you've got the idea of us being stuck in the mud, where we're kind of feeling down, feeling a bit caught up in things, but it's how we move forward from that that's really, really important. So that's for the 2 of you, because of Dad's passing. So thank you both for inquiring. Next up, we have Catherine Costello. Hello, my friend. How are you? It is so good to see you here. Really, really so good to see you here. Catherine and I shared many an evening down in Port St. John's in South Africa. It's such a beautiful place. My heart is still there. It's still in Port St. John's. Love, 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 love. Michael Bauer, we're with you next. We are coming up to you next. But right now, Catherine Costello, what have we got for you? We have got, Sad Embrace, Catherine. It's card 45, which comes to a 9. Any cards that don't have green on them, I can kind of show. It's card 45, comes to a 9. 9 is endings, completions, finishing off, tying up loose ends, finishing a chapter in your life so you can move forward with the next chapter. All of these things are really, really, really important. But Sad Embrace gives me lots of blue. Okay, blue is our throat chakra. So it's our expression, how we express ourselves. How are we... it's our communication and our creativity. So how are we expressing ourselves? How are we being heard? How are we trying to present ourselves? All of those things. Sad Embrace is kind of a retrospective where you kind of think back and you go, you know, am I being heard properly? Maybe it's a bit reminiscent as well. It's the idea of just regrouping, taking stock of where you are in the moment and allowing that to come to fruition in a good and positive way for you and for those around you. Okay, Catherine Costello, that was for you. Michael Bauer, we are with you next, darling. Here you are. Hello, how are you? You and your wife are watching every week. Mike, my man from South Africa. Let's see where we go to with you for this week. Karen Jarman, good evening, darling. How are you? Bum, 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 bum. Right, if you like and share this broadcast, and then say yes, please. If you're watching us and you haven't had a card, why not just like and share the broadcast and then say yes, please, and we will get to you as soon as we can. Michael, for you, I've got rescue. Now, there is some green on this card, so it might taint. There where the hot air balloon is. My backdrop is bleeding into it. So there's a hot air balloon at the top there, even though it doesn't look like it. And there's actually a person stood in a cave at the top of this waterfall on this island in the sky. When I see this card, it's 16, which comes to a 7. 7 is all about transformation, metamorphosis, those kinds of things. And transformation always happens as a result of change, Michael. So what changes are you making to create the transformations in your life at the moment? This card says to me, are you needing to be rescued at the moment? Or are you the one always rescuing everybody else? And it's one of those things where you kind of have to go, am I the rescuer or the rescuee? And whatever your answer is, Michael, it's personal to you, but whatever your answer is, you might want to consider perhaps changing tack and maybe doing a bit of the other. So if you're always looking after everybody else, maybe it's time for you to be looked after and vice versa. Okay? That's what I've got for you this evening. Right, let's see where we go. We're going to do a little bit of a feedback thing. Hello, my darling. Hello, sweetheart. Autumn says, I'm so sorry to ask this as you're so busy, but a call made it unable to hear your reply. Are you able to recall the message? The honest answer, Autumn, is no. However, this gets rebroadcast on Facebook straight afterwards, so you can watch it back. You will be able to watch it back. That's my best advice. So either on my page, MJ Lifestylist, or on my personal page, Martin Jones, this gets shared after it's up for people to see again afterwards. So you will be able to watch it back. Okay. Thank you, Martin. Lovely card. Yes, it is. Lots of little thingies. Cool backdrop. Thank you. This is my little Christmassy backdrop. I thought I'd use it. I used it for our other show last night, and I thought I'd keep it up. Where are we? Thank you very much. Pleasure, my darling. And to you, Lisa. Yes, please. Karen Jarman wants a yes, please. So let's talk to Karen. Karen, you're going to need to turn your hearing aid up because apparently you can't hear me. Oh, bless me. Bless me. Right. Karen Jarman, this is for you. Oh, Golden Palace, Karen. Now there's lots of green on this card. I'm going to try and show it to the screen. It's a golden, like a palace, and then this is all trees and things around it, like brambles almost. It's very unclear because of the green screen. Good, I'm glad you can hear me now. I love you, Karen. Card 23 comes to a 5, first of all, Karen, so let's start there. 5 is all about being open to unexpected surprises, opportunities, jobs, visitors, all of those things. So being ready for the unexpected is what 5 is all about. And guess what? Next year dilutes down to a 5 as well. So first of all, 5. Then it says Golden Palace. Golden Palace. And Golden Palace is, for me, a little bit like Sleeping Beauty. I read it as a Sleeping Beauty card. What do I mean by that? Well, when I look at Golden Palace, I kind of wonder, are you on the inside trying to get out? Or are you on the outside trying to get back in? Whichever side of the fence you're on, it's always very important to take note of it. So some people are trying to break out of their little prison or their life, and some people are trying to get in, like the guy from Sleeping Beauty who's trying to hack his way through the brambles to get into the castle. Because this castle in the picture is totally surrounded, there we go, is totally surrounded by all these brambles and a cliff to the one side. I'll try and show you again. That's a bit better. And the cliff to the one side. Where are we? Yeah, cliff to the one side. So Golden Palace is just that idea of, are you trying to get out or are you trying to get in? Break out or break in? And it's a really important thing, because sometimes people just want change in their life, and sometimes people just want to get let into aspects of their life. So really important. Right, does anybody want to ask me any questions? Anybody want to ask any questions? Nine has always been my favorite number. Thank you. Oh, a pleasure, my darling. Anytime. Thanks, Martin. I can hear you now. Thank you. Right. That's the end of my list. There's nobody else on my list. Does anybody else have any questions that they'd like to ask? Anybody else have anything that they'd like to ask me? Happy to answer some questions. Spiritual questions anyone might have? Thank you, my darling. Lots of things happening. Oh, that sounds interesting. Really interesting. But does anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask? Any spiritual questions? Are there different meanings for the same card? Yes and no. What do I mean by that? The cards are obviously designed by the medium, and they come up with the concept, they come up with the meaning behind the card. Let's start there, their meaning for the card. And then obviously an illustrator would interpret that meaning, Liz. So an illustrator might then do the drawings, or it might be the other way around. Maybe the drawings happen first and then the medium kind of sits with it and works out what it's supposed to mean. In any event, whichever way around it goes, those cards then come to you in a box like this with a little book like this. And the book will have the generic meaning of the cards. And so it will be the intention of the author and the artist, and this is what they think this card means, and this is what it symbolizes, and this is what it's about. However, each and every person that reads the cards will read them differently, and I've added a lot of my own interpretation into the cards, because whenever I get a new deck of cards, and I have many, I always read through the book once to read what the original intention for the cards were, and then having read through it once, I will then more often than not fiddle around and work on my interpretations of what I believe the cards to be about. And as you can see, I do a bit of numerology, I do a bit of color, I do a bit of interpretation of the items on the card, and I always say that you can read the cards in a wealth of different ways, because if you use color and pattern and shape and numerology and symbolism and chakras and all of those things, you will come to a unique interpretation of the card. And sometimes, Liz, all joking aside, I will actually be watching something or doing something and go to read a card for someone, and then I'll be like, oh, where did that come from? Because I've been using this deck for about 5 years now. It's my favorite deck of cards. But each time I come to it, I will see new things in the pictures. There'll be little things that I've never seen before, and I can swear blind that they weren't there the last time I read from that particular card from this particular deck. So I think a lot of the time you're shown what needs to be said, you're guided as to what needs to be interpreted, and it's up to you to figure all of that out. That's what I think. Any other questions? Oh. I will give it a minute or two because there is a delay on this feed. Sue Venus, are you around? Happenings. Taryn has to move again and come back to me in my granny flat. Good Lord. Doesn't she have little ones? Children? Children? Am I ever really surprised by a card and its meaning for a particular person? Yes. Because sometimes things pop up out of nowhere, especially if I wasn't expecting them. I suppose the surprise is unexpected, I get that, but sometimes I will be going down a train of thought according to what's popped up in the cards, and then I will have a surprise card pop up. I think that's what gets me, is when a surprise card pops up, a card I wasn't expecting, or a card that sometimes also doesn't fit in with the rest of the cards in the spread. That's when it kind of surprises me. Yes, too, says Karen. Wow, that'll be an adjustment. Love the Christmas backdrop. Thank you. Right, Sue Venus, I'm pulling a card for you because you haven't had a card. And you never ask for one. You always just sit in the background politely and wait. Oh, Sue. Have I got a card for you? I've got the card called Wizard of Awareness, card number 3, Sue. 3 is all about change. The Wizard of Awareness talks about if you are having a problem that you are trying to deliberate about. So you're making a decision on something. He says, don't just make your decision and that's it. He says what you need to do is you need to actually take yourself out of the situation that you're deciding about and sit on his throne. And when you sit on his throne, Sue, you will be able to look in objectively and visit it objectively, and that's how you will get to the right answer. Kind of like sitting back in his throne and observing the situation from outside the situation will give you the best answer there. And 3, as we know, is all about change. Debs Davis, do you want a card, darling? Good evening. How are you, sweetheart? Peggy Jacobson, good evening. How are you? Miss Peggy Jacobson, I can see you've arrived. Oh. Landlord per rent. Sure. Cold, lol. Claire Osti, I'll come to you next. Debs Davis. So the usual stuff, like and share, and then say yes, please. Debs Davis, your card is up next, and then Claire Osti, your card will be up after that, because I've caught up with everybody. So anyone that's coming in now will be able to be on the list. Yay! Debs Davis, I got flying for you as well. I had it earlier for another person. Flying, card number 20. This talks about transcending the maze of life at the bottom. Card 20 comes to a 2. 2 is all about soulmates, twin flames, finding your true purpose. Also, Debs, and you'd understand this, also about facing your shadow self, things that you haven't dealt with, things that you're not comfortable with, etc., etc., to see how it all comes to fruition. But this horsey tells us free of the pole that goes through it, it's free of the carousel and going up and down and round and round and round, and it's able to transcend the maze. This tells me March next year, because I've got Chinese cherry blossom up here, and I know. So this tells me that March of next year, when spring arrives, you are going to be able to transcend any obstacles that are in your way and just get up and over them and beyond them, which is great news. Claire Osti, let's come to you next. Hi, Agnieszka. I'll be with you in a minute. Agnieszka, don't go anywhere. We will be with you in a minute. Claire Osti, this is for you. Coming to life. Well, Claire. Card 29, coming to life. There's a mythic creature like a goblin, like an elf or a sprite or whatever you want to call them. They've got the long pointy ears. So whatever your pleasure, who knows what they're called. It is coming to life out of the statue. So the statue is turning into a living, breathing being. There's an orb of energy here, orb of light. 29 angels, angel number 11, guarding, protecting you, looking after you. That's all happening right now. And then you have got this idea of coming to life. So this orb of energy. Claire, you're going to find your second wind, and I know you know what I'm talking about. You are going to find your second wind, and it's going to be amazing for you, my darling Claire Osti. I hope that has helped you. Karen Jarman, yes, it is, my darling. I am sort of chatting to you in between. Agnieszka, yes, please. Hello, darling. How are you? I'm going to read for you in two ticks. I'm just going to quickly read Sue's message, Agnieszka, and then I will read for you. Amazing. That's exactly what's happening with the situation. I'm starting to need that card. Well, my darling, you know where we are. You know where we are. I can see Nicole Redford's here. Hello, Nicole. Gorgeous lady. Hello, Nicole. Where are you? Like and share, say yes please, and we'll pull a card for you. Agnieszka, to you next. I'm just picking my fan mail. Love you lots. Thank you, how lovely. Thank you so much. Right, Agnieszka, I'm reading for you, and then Nicole Redford, you are next on my list as soon as I've finished Agnieszka's card, so don't go anywhere. Right. Da, 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 da. Nicole, I miss singing with you. When are we going to have a karaoke night? I have a machine thing now. And I need to see you. Mrs. Redford, I need to see you. And tell that son of yours to say hello too. I haven't seen Callum in forever. Right. Agnieszka, for you, I have got encouragement, card 54. Now, it's going like that because there's green in the card. Try and do that. It's basically an older or a parental giraffe looking down and encouraging a youngster. So there's encouragement from above, there's encouragement for you, or maybe it's you that's encouraging someone that's younger than you or below you. So it could be like a work colleague, etc. So it feels like someone that you're able to pass on advice to and encouragement to. This is card 54. 54 comes to a 9. 5 and 4 is 9. And that tells me that actually there's a whole lot of stuff going on here, because the 9 tells me that there's endings, completions, and finishing off. So there's an end of an old pattern, so you can make way for new stuff coming your way. So please, please, please be aware of that. But lots of encouragement for you, okay? Lots of encouragement for you. Hello, my love. Yes, please. Hello, gorgeous. My friend Nicole. When I'm not working, sweetheart, I will be over. Yay! Amazing. And Liz says, thank you, love you. Love you too, Liz. Take care of yourself, my darling. Right, Nicole, we're with you. Where are you, Trouble? There she is. Hello, Trouble. Nicole, let's read for you next. Let's read for you next. Oh, Nicole. Now, I can show you the card for a moment, Nicole. You're not going to be able to see it because the whole card is green. So that's not going to make any sense to you, even if I move it back. So what it is, it's an elephant. Oh, maybe a little bit there. It's an elephant leaning down, and there's actually a robin on its tusk, and there's a robin on its head. That's it. And it says listening, and between the two robins there's music notes. It's going like this because of my green screen behind me. So, Nicole. Card 53, which comes to an 8. So we're going to come back to the 8. But you've got this elephant. Elephants never forget. And there's a robin on the elephant's head and a robin on the elephant's tusk, and music notes between them. I always say to people, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is passive, listening is active, and this card talks of listening. So it is a very, very important card to take note of, because in your life there are two people that are truly listening to you at the moment. They're not just hearing you, they're actually taking it all on board. They're making sure that they totally understand you and what you're saying and what needs to be done at this time. So really, really, really important to kind of get that all put together in your mind, that the idea that somebody is really and truly listening to you. There are two people that you can confide in that have really got your back. Okay, the green, as I said, nature, nurture, healing. It's in your nature to nurture people, and your advice and your help is incredibly healing for people. So take note of that. And then 53 comes to an 8. 8 on its side is the infinity symbol, and the infinity symbol is basically about circles and cycles. It's about prosperity and abundance. So when we look at 8, we look at prosperity, we look at abundance. How do you feel about it? Do you feel worthy of it? How does it show up in your life? How do you want to move forward in your life with the knowledge of the prosperity and the abundance that you have in your life? So all of these things are really, really good indicators of things that are happening around you and with you. But as always, with anything that's happening around you and with you at the moment, please take care, please take note of things, and really look out for the two people that are listening for your own best interests and not just hearing what you have to say and paying you lip service. So look for the people that are truly caring, okay? And allow those people to step forward into their own power, to assisting you, helping you in a positive way. Thank you, Martin. Hope you're well. Nice to see you again. Lovely to see you too. Thank you for being here. Right, any more spiritual questions that anyone wants to ask? Don't forget, we are no longer doing morning broadcasts. Last Friday was our last morning broadcast, so we are only on a Sunday night doing Psychic Sunday at 7:30 till 8:30 UK time. 7:30 till 8:30 UK time on a Sunday evening. We do our this broadcast where we pull cards for individual people. Thank you so much, my love. Only a pleasure, my darling. I hope that helped. And then on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, Tuesdays we do our development group, our spiritual development group, and Thursdays we do our mediumship group. In both cases, they're done through Zoom, and in both cases, they are £5 each per session. You pay through our page, through our events. They're all set up on there, and then having paid for it, you are able to get the link to join us for the live broadcast. So that is through PayPal and through events page, MJ Lifestylist. If you haven't liked our page, go ahead and like it. You'll get first-hand news of all the things that are going on with our events and with our happenings as they happen. Right. Prachi Daswani says, hey there, I think you're our first viewer from YouTube to come through to this page. So hey Prachi, how are you? I hope I've pronounced that correctly. I don't like pronouncing people's names incorrectly. A great segue to tell all of you, we actually have a YouTube channel, so you can catch up with broadcasts if you want to watch them back. They are on our YouTube channel, MJ Lifestylist. You can see our broadcasts there. They are all stored there, and you can watch them. They are actually live now as we speak, but they do get retained in YouTube. So go ahead and like us on YouTube, like our page, get involved, come and do some events with us. Let's get people motivated. Let's get people feeling better about life and the universe and all sorts of things. If there are no more questions, then I am going to bid you all a farewell for this evening, because we got through everybody. Everybody had a card. We've answered some questions. There's no more spiritual questions or no more questions about my work. Then boom, boom, boom. Karen says good night. Night, doll. Liz says, do I believe that animals have spiritual intuition? Absolutely. Absolutely. Animals can see spirit. Animals can sense spirit. And that is a fact. Animals can see and sense spirit. They are very intuitive. I always say if a dog or a cat doesn't want to go to somebody, there's a problem with that person. Animals can sense it. I'm very much a pet person. Pets love me. But I think people are a bit dodgy or shady if kids don't go to them, and then if animals don't go to them. That's what I think. Hey, Claire Woodchurch, how are you? Good night, Nicole. Sleep tight, babe. Claire, would you like a card? Just say yes, please, if you'd like a card, and then I think we're going to, if there are no other questions, then we will start shutting down for the night. I've been on for 48 minutes. I usually do an hour. I came on a little bit early tonight, actually, because I wanted to make up for last week where I came on late. Everyone's got their message. So Claire, would you like a message? Have you got a yes please for Claire? For you, I've always got time, my darling. You're well within time, but I was about to shut down because I had no new people coming in, and I've read for it already. So let's do Claire's card with pleasure. Oh, Claire, for you, card 21. Card 21, it has got green on it, so it's going to do a funny thing. It's called Field of Dreams, and there's fairy folk sitting on eggs, like big ostrich eggs, like bigger than them. And then you, in the sky, all these green butterflies in the sky. So butterflies are metamorphosis, change, and these people, these beings, are sitting on their eggs. So for me, Field of Dreams, the eggs represent the dreams, and you are encouraged to nurture your dreams, sit on your dreams, try and hatch your dreams, try and make them a reality, and see how they come to fruition. It's very, very important right now to know exactly who you are and what in your life and where you think your life is going, trying to sort of decide those things, trying to push forward with those things and see how they happen for you. 21 comes to a 3, and 3 is all about change. All about change. So really a lovely, lovely center there for you. The idea of change and the idea of how that change can be realized for you and around you at this time. So that's your card, Claire. Well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Well, ladies and gents, that seems to be the end of our evening, because we've managed to read successfully for everyone this evening, and those that asked at least, and we are happy to be here for all of you. But if there's no more people, then there's no more to do. So please take care of yourselves and each other. Be kind. Kindness and common decency costs absolutely nothing. So greet people, smile at people, be kind, and remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you're doing the best you've got with the tools that you've got, best you can with the tools that you've got, and you just need to remember to be gentle with yourself, guys. Until I see you again, it can be Tuesday night or Thursday night at one of our 2 events, or indeed on Sunday at our next Psychic Sunday. My wish for you is to stay safe, be strong, look after you, and be blessed. Namaste.